What's going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to another Guardians of the Galaxy Minimates review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2-pack that features, of course, Nebula and the Sakaaran Trooper. That Sakaaran Trooper looks absolutely terrifying. I mean, that is just a spooky looking face. That's, you know, as that old saying goes, that's a face only a mother can love, that's for sure. So, nonetheless, of course, this review was provided by Diamond Select Toys. Of course, check out diamondselecttoys.com for plenty of information on Minimates, Marvel Select, a whole bunch of other cool stuff that they're working on. They have like these really cool bottle caps that have, not bottle caps, bottle openers that I've been eyeing up. So I might actually pick up a few of those and show them to you guys, even though I don't drink. But hey, when I drink soda from, I guess, a glass bottle, that could work as well. Nonetheless, of course, today we're going to be taking a look at Nebula and Sakaaran Trooper, as I said before. Same packaging as we have seen on the other two sets that we have looked at. And speaking of the other two sets that we have looked at, on the back of the packaging, we can see, of course, the sets that we've looked at, including Gamora and the Nova Corps Centurion, as well as the set that featured Drax, Groot, and Rocket Raccoon. Today we're going to look at the Sakaaran Trooper and Nebula, and next time I'll take a look at Star-Lord and Ronan. I'm not sure what's going on with Star-Lord, like these little black points that they gave him. I'm not sure what's happening there. Like, what is that? Is that like horns or something? I'm not sure what's happening, but we'll see if the actual Minimate looks like that as well. So, as always, there's a little bit of a bio right down at the bottom here for each one of the characters in the set. So let's begin with Nebula, the Deadly Fighter. Nebula is part of the group hunting the Guardians to acquire the orb for their master, and shares a history with Gamora. And she actually shares a lot more than that with Gamora because, well, they're stepsisters. Spoiler alert. I guess that's why they're next to each other there. Alright, next up, the Sakaaran Trooper reads as follows. Ronan's personal shock troops. The Sakaarans are a fierce and aggressive race known for their militaristic culture. Of course they would. Alright, so with that being said, of course, let's go ahead and pop this set open and take a look at the two lovely, or at least hopefully lovely, Minimates inside. Alrighty guys, so there is of course the Sakaaran soldier and Nebula herself. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at these Minimates one at a time. So we're going to set Nebula aside for just a moment. And of course, just like with Gamora, this is obviously supposed to be kind of like the secondary character. Like the main reason why you would buy this set is more so for Nebula, because of course she's a more prominent character, whereas this is just the Sakaaran soldier. But the lovely thing about the Sakaaran soldier is that A, it's a really cool looking Minimate, and B, this gives you a reason to army build. Just like with the Centurion, or the Nova Corps Centurion I should say, in the Gamora set, you could do the same thing with this figure and get a few of them to assemble like a little bit of an army and have it basically like displayed as a little squad against your Guardians, or maybe a squad against Thanos. Whatever it is, you could definitely come up with some really cool designs. Speaking of cool designs, you can see that this character has an absolutely crazy design going on. Very much, of course, similar to the film, where it's kind of hard to make out what is actually happening. I mean, you can see obviously on the print work on the face and everything, it's very spooky looking. It's all scarred up. It kind of obviously looks like a race that is always very heavily influenced by military cultures and military actions. So you can see, of course, they're constantly scarred. They've got all of these like scarred marks all over their armor and such. You can see some interesting maybe war paint or something coming across the chest there, bandages on the legs, almost like a mummy-like feel I'm getting off of this character. Now, in terms of accessories for this character, you might have, of course, noticed the fact that he comes with a pretty cool Sakaaran blaster, which is actually pretty accurate from what I recall. So that's pretty neat, actually, that at this tiny little scale they managed to have it still be quite accurate. You will notice, of course, some really lovely sculpt work on the inside. It kind of reminds me a little bit of an Alien. Like if you've ever seen the movie Alien, this kind of reminds me like the mouth of the alien and everything. It just looks kind of spooky, but yeah, that's what it reminds me. And of course, there's a nice little handle conveniently placed right at the bottom here that he can hold. I kind of wish that there would have been something up here that he could hold on to, so you could kind of have like more leisurely display options, so that kind of like, you know, as if he's saluting or there are about to go into battle, but they haven't really approached battle yet. So I would have really liked to have seen that. But additionally to that, you also have a removable helmet here. So if you want, you could go ahead and remove that. And you can see, of course, there's that spooky face of the Sakaar soldier. There is no print work on the back. It's just flat, no other expressions or anything like that. So that being said, of course, just like with the Nova Corps Centurion, you could go ahead and customize this guy to maybe be a general or something, customize his face to look different, which is really cool. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. We're going to look at the articulation on this figure because it's the same going to be for the second figure, so I'm just going to show it once. So, that being said, of course, just like always, the Minimates have the ball-jointed head, allowing them for quite a nice range of motion on the head, especially for the scale of full rotation in 360 there. Of course, as always, when a character is wearing hair or a helmet, the hair might move while you're doing a 360 rotation, so you might as well just remove it and then place it back in the right position. The shoulders have a decent range right there as well, so you can get a whole rotation there and then up and down. A bend at the elbow that is further than about 90 degrees, just a little bit further than 90, so that's not too bad for a single jointed elbow. Then we've got a rotation on the wrist, so you could obviously maneuver that, and that's pretty important for when you have like weapons like swords and guns. It's very important to have that range of articulation there. Of course, we've got a cut right there at the waist, and then the character can also kick forwards and backwards, as you can see right there, so that's pretty awesome. Then we've got a bend at the knee, which is about 90 degrees, and a swivel at the actual ankle there, so that's pretty cool. And last but certainly not least, usually, I'm not going to say always now because I've had one set that didn't come with these translucent stands, but I absolutely love these. They're really fantastic for getting some really cool poses, like where you could just have the character completely like this, and thanks to the stand, it holds them up, and because it's translucent, people won't even see it, so you could like set up like a really cool fight scene or something, and it looks absolutely incredible. Speaking of looking incredible, let's go ahead and segue on over to Nebula, who looks absolutely fantastic. I think this is one of the coolest looking Minimates, that's for sure, in terms of just visually. I really love the deep purple. Then again, purple is probably my second or third most favorite color, so I really like the design on this. It looks absolutely fantastic. I love that silver arm right there. That robotic arm of hers looks absolutely incredible, and then the print work on the face is so very cool. She still manages to keep like a lot of her feminine features, but we can see like this really cool complex technological piece over her eyeball there, and that just looks really awesome. And they even kept details, like for example on the top of her head right here, the silver bit. That's just really cool attention to detail, and again, at this scale, it's something that could have been easily passed up, and people would have not probably even complained about a lot of it, but they went ahead above and beyond and got a really cool looking figure in Nebula. Alrighty guys, so there you have it. Of course, that is the review for the 2-pack or Minimates 2-pack for Nebula, and of course the Sakaar soldier. I absolutely love this set. It's fantastic. I once again kind of have begun to love the Sakaar soldier a little bit more, just because I like messing around with the kind of like, you know, characters that don't have a lot of background and just kind of getting them in really cool poses and stuff. So I really like the Sakaar soldier. I'm probably going to try to get a few more of these so that I could have a little bit of an army, like maybe 3 of them or something, just to have like a little bit of a display against like my Nova Corps Centurions and stuff. That would be really neat. But that being said, of course, once again, I also wanted to showcase that, as always, Minimates offer themselves perfectly for customization. You could always switch parts. They're all compatible, which is absolutely awesome. I mean, sometimes there are some incompatibilities, like for example, she can't wear the helmet because she doesn't have like the little hole in her head, so that's a bit of an incompatibility there, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to, you know, give and take, and sometimes not everything goes perfectly, but still you could have, for example, Nebula dressed up in Sakaar soldier outfit or something. It's just really cool. I really like the variety of displays that I get out of these guys, and it's just really a ton of fun to mess around with these guys and just try to get them in some really cool looking poses. That being said, thanks all for watching, of course, this review. If you guys enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so very much for the amazing support on the previous review, which was of course Gamora and the Centurion. You guys were so very positive. I'm super glad that you guys liked the new format. Of course, if you guys enjoyed this review, again, hit that like button. That really does help me out a ton. These reviews take quite a bit longer to put together than my older reviews, but it seems like you guys really enjoy them. Thanks all for watching, guys, and I will indeed catch you guys next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye.